9-6. So there, with a dilation, you're always going to have what's called a center of dilation. We're going to call it C for right now. That's this point in the picture down below. C is your center of dilation. When you think of a dilation, what do you think of?
I think of it widening.
Yeah,
like my eyes.
Like your eyes, right? So if you dilate your pupils, they get bigger, right? So if you've ever been to the eye doctor and they've had to dilate your pupils, that was a dilation like we're going to talk about today. There is some point that they dilate around. So when you dilate your pupils, your point of dilation is the very center of your pupil, right? But sometimes it's not the middle of the figure. Like if I dilate from point C, notice this is our original figure, and this is what it became. It actually moved just further away from our center of dilation versus if the center of dilation is here and we dilate, it's still like inside the figure. So it can be inside the figure or it can be outside the figure. It's just a matter of what it does to it in those situations. We'll talk more about that later. But I want to get you the terminology first. So a center of dilation, that's your C, okay? It also has a scale factor. Hallelujah. The scale factor is N, okay? So whenever you're looking for a scale factor, if it says N equals, that's what we're talking about, the scale factor. Here's where things are a little bit different than they've been in the past. So far, everything we've done, the new figure that we got was the same size. Dilations are not. N is your scale factor. C is your center of dilation. There is no N here. We're going to get to N down here.
Wait, so why
I wish I had video of that.
You just fell out of nowhere.
I know, all of a sudden you were going like this, and I couldn't tell you.
It looked like a small feather.
Okay, dilations preserve
I want to catch it.
angle measure.
Scale
Visions.
so far away. Everyone's so far away from me.
Closer, kids. Yeah, why did you do that?
Look here. I was mad at somebody.
We're gonna move you all in a very short time.
movie?
I wonder.
Dilations preserve angle measure, okay? The angles of your figure are still the same. This angle right here is still the same size as that angle. So if it was 55 degrees, this one's 55 degrees also. Q prime is the same as Q, okay? So they preserve angle measure, but they don't preserve distance. Notice this. This length here, PQ, is not the same as P prime, Q prime, right? They're different sizes now. So angles will stay the same. Side lengths will be different, okay? Okay. Your scale factor with these things will always be your image, what a figure became, over your pre-image. So like in this picture, it would be image is P prime, Q prime, and we would divide that by PQ. Okay, so it's the image, the new one, over the first one, which is really backwards, right? Because we think go in the order it came in. This you go in opposite order. The new one divided by the old one, okay? And all this will make a lot more sense once we get to what we're doing. I just want to get you the terminology. Okay, then a dilation is either going to get bigger, an enlargement, or get smaller, a reduction, okay? If it's an enlargement, your scale factor, this number, whatever you plugged in, is a number that is greater, any guesses, than what number? If something grew, greater than what number? Not the smaller of the two.
The original, the one.
Greater than 1. Do you know why 1 is the number?
No.
What would 1 represent as a percent?
1%.
Not 1%. 100%, right? The number 1, like if you have the number 0.25, have you ever seen that before? That's 25%.
Oh.
Have you seen that, right? A quarter. So the number 1, if we're, multiplying by 100 to make it a percent, multiply by 100, you get 100% of something. So when you have, that looks goofy. an enlargement, your scale factor, what it grew by, needs to be more than 100%, right? 100% of the thing is the thing itself. 125% of the thing got bigger, right? A reduction is if your number n, your scale factor, is between 0 and 1. So now it's a fraction, right? 3/4 of something is less than the whole thing. 1/2 of something is less than the whole thing. So a reduction has to be between 0 and 1. An enlargement has to be greater than 1. Okay? And then here's the rule, right? The notation, the rule looks like this. So this means a dilation of n of the point xy. Okay? A dilation of n of the point xy is how you would say this. I'll explain in just a minute. Just write it down for now. So dilation of n. Notice what happened then right here. I took the point x, y, and do you see what happened with my n? I multiplied my x and my y by that number. So these are actually really simple. All you do is take that little number. Do not loop. You take that little number and you multiply it by both pieces. Okay? I'll show you in just a minute. It will make more sense once you're doing it, I promise. I just need you to write the things down so you can go back and refer to it in a minute. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. You have a figure here, example 1. There is this triangle. I'm doing in green, right?
Do you want us to do the same color as you, or like should we color this?
It might help you, but you don't have to. So you have that triangle. Notice that's just ABC, right? Then we have A prime, B prime, C prime. When the primes show up, that's your new figure. Okay, so green is your pre-image. My red is my image, what it became. Okay? When looking for reduction or enlargement, that's what you have to look for. What was the original? Did it get bigger or did it get smaller? Okay? My original is the green. This got bigger, right? So it's an enlargement. So circle enlargement here. Okay? Then we need to know what is your center of dilation. Here's the thing. This is what point. It is always going to be a point. What point did it start to grow from, right? Sometimes it's a point on the figure itself. Other times it is not. Oh, my word. What is your center? Okay, so center of dilation is the point that we are dilating from. What point would you say the green triangle dilated from to become the red triangle?
A.
It's point A, okay? So it's either the point that didn't change, right? Notice A and A prime never changed. That is our A and our A prime, okay? So if there's a point that didn't change, like if there's one point that doesn't have a prime, that's your point of dilation, okay? So your center of dilation is point A. Your scale factor, did we say pre-image over image or image over pre-image?
Image over pre-image.
Image over pre-image.
Is dilation the same as enlargement?
No, because a dilation could be a reduction too. So in this setup, what is your image over your pre-image?
6/3.
That's tempting, and a lot of people do that.
A, C.
But think about
3
your...
over 6.
It's pretty tempting.
It's
I'm
3 over 6.
getting tempted right now.
Scale factor is 3
A,
over
Well,
6.
A, 3, B, 6.
Is it 3 over 6?
Would it be 8B prime? Oh, no.
A prime.
Is it
3,
1
6.
over 9?
9 is good.
1 over 9? 9 over 1?
No. What's your pre-image
9.
length?
3 over 9.
3.
9.
3.
I'm
right? The pre-image is the 3. The image is the whole thing, right? So you're going to say image over pre-image, 9 over 3, right? So that number, your scale factor, is 3. Does it make sense that an enlargement would have a number greater than 1?
Yes.
That's how you can check it, right? If you're telling me it grew, then it needs to be a number greater than 1.
Let's go.
Okay.
Wait, then why would it just end as 3?
You can call it 3 over 1.
Oh,
Do you like that
because you
better?
divide first. So the 9 just like disappears, I guess.
No, 9 divided by 3, right? Your ratio is 9 over 3. You reduce it. 9 over 3 is 3 over 1, which you can just call 3, right?
Silly me, I'm such a silly boy.
Okay, this one. Look at your first figure,
It's A.
right? All the E, F, G, H. Okay.
C, it's A.
It becomes,
Oh, I was looking at the other
No,
one.
no.
so it starts at green. It becomes red. Is that an enlargement or reduction?
That's a reduction.
That is a reduction.
Wait. Oh, never mind.
How do you like determine which one
Yeah,
starts?
that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. It's because
It's the primes. The prime is the new, right? What it became.
It's 8,
Um,
8 over 2.
so what's your center?
C.
C is the center of dilation. And then your scale factor is what?
No, it's
That's 2.
2 over 8.
Because
Image.
8 over 2.
Mm-mm.
No,
Image.
2 over 8.
The new one, right, is the image.
No,
So it's
not.
2. Pre-image is 8. 2 over 8 is 1 over 4, right? It's a fraction. Does it make sense that if something reduced in size, it is now 1/4 of what it was?
Wait, how come in the last one, the bigger image part was on top, and then this one, the smaller?
Because it was
Because
It's a reduction.
it is this. Shh, listen, Truett. It is always your image, so it's always, maybe this is a better way to say it, the
Oh, I
prime
see. I didn't look at that.
over the original,
Oh.
right?
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Prime over original. Okay, so come over here and try this one on your own.
But
I wanna know-
Is the scale factor always the smaller number?
No. Because sometimes it'll be, if it's an enlargement, it's a number greater than 1, right? The scale factor is always the prime number over the original number. I'm about to throw you out the window right now.
Huh?
You snicker about everything, and it's inappropriate, and I'm over it.
He said he didn't get it.
What?
All right, what is this?
Wait, what's so funny?
Nothing. He wasn't even doing it.
Yeah, why are you guys laughing at me? I didn't do anything. I just
I'm
said-
not laughing at you.
No, he's
Not laughing at anyone.
He's laughing at me. I'm just trying to understand.
Okay, so tell me, reduction or enlargement?
Oh,
We're not there yet.
Enlargement.
Reduction or enlargement?
Is it 0.5?
This is an enlargement. It started as like the D becomes D prime, C becomes C prime, B becomes B prime, right? Original to prime, okay? So that's an enlargement. What is the center of dilation?
A.
It's A. If there's something that doesn't change, right? A didn't move. A became A prime. So if it doesn't change, that's your center, okay? And then your scale factor is your image over your pre-image. Your image is this length, right? Your pre-image is the 2. So 4 over 2 is a scale factor of 2, which makes sense because an enlargement has to be a number greater than 1,
I knew it was 2.
right?
Oh, I get it. I get it.
It's right here.
Why did you say 2?
We reduced it. 4 over 2.
understand.
Okay.
I
Here's what you do if they ask you to do a dilation, okay? This is the rule. It says find the image, find the new point. So if this is your current point, the new point is doing a dilation of 2. Remember I said you just multiply this number by both things. So if I'm going to multiply that point by 2, what's my new point?
Negative. It would
2
be
and negative
2 and
10.
negative 10.
2 and negative 10. So if I dilate the point 1, negative 5, always around the origin for these, I would get 2, negative
How do
10.
you cut 0 in half?
So
It's
would the
a
next
half.
one be
How do
0
you?
and 12?
But it's 1/2 now.
Let's go on.
Wait,
So you
it's
divide
half
it.
and
So
nine.
1/2 times 0 is what?
1/2 and 9.
1/2 times 0 is 0, right?
Oh,
Anything
anything
times 0
multiplied by
is
0
0.
is 0. Oh my
Three?
gosh.
And
I'm such a
3.
bot.
1/2 times 6 is 3.
I'm such a bot.
And then this one would be 0 and 0.
This one is 0, 0. So in other words, D is your center of dilation on this one, right? If it's 0, 0 and it
wait,
doesn't
like-
change, that would be your center of dilation.
So number 2 would be like a reduction? 'Cause it's like
2, because it's a number less than 1, yes.
And then A would
This
be
is an
the-
enlargement, this is an enlargement. A and C are enlargements. Okay, so here's what you're gonna have to do on the quiz. This is your quiz question, right here. You're gonna plot an original figure. I plotted it for you here because you guys know how to graph a figure at this point. And then you're gonna have to do a dilation. So if my point L right now is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So L is -3, -2. Okay? M is currently, we're not doing anything yet. We're just naming the points. 1, -2. Okay, I will give you these as points. You'll do the graph. I'm doing it kind of in reverse right now. N is the point 2, 3. Okay, so on your quiz, I give you this and a blank graph. Your job is to plot those points. So here's L, here's M, here's N. Okay, you'll get your triangle, which we already have on this one.
Oh. And you
Okay.
have to double it.
And now you have to do the dilation. So if it's a dilation of 2, what are you doing to these numbers?
You have to double it.
Times 2. So L prime is what point? -6, -4. I'm taking these two numbers and I'm multiplying by 2. So plot that. -6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is L prime. Okay, move to M. M prime is going to be where? 2, -4. We're just multiplying by 2 and multiplying by 2. So 2, -4. So you would go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 is M prime. And make sure you label these, okay? You won't get full credit if you don't tell me which points they are. I want to see which one's your L prime, your M prime, your M prime.
What if you just do it by like copying their, like that's.
From
what
the
I just
center?
did. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I just
It,
did.
that works. Yeah,
It's
that
so much
works.
faster and so much easier. And so,
I just want to see the graph. So
okay,
if that's
so
how you do it, that's
don't-
fine.
You don't care if I like show that I'm multiplying them.
No.
Okay, cool.
N, if you're at 2, 3, and we multiply by 2 and multiply by 2, then we're at 4, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, N prime. Okay, so your new triangle looks like this. Does that make sense as an enlargement?
Yes.
Yeah, because it was 2, right, was our scale factor. So it should have grown, and it grew, so we're good. Here's what Truett is saying he did, and you can totally look at it this way if it makes sense to you. From 0, 0, right, my center of dilation on every coordinate plane is 0, 0. So you will always be able to work from 0, 0. He's saying I had to go up 3 over 2 to get to N. So do the same thing. Up 3 over 2 will get you there. Now, when will this work? Only an enlargement of what?
2.
2. Only when you double it, right? So if it's a 3, you cannot do this. So the only time what Truett is saying will work is if it's 2. If it was 3, what could you do?
You could do the same thing, but then do half the next time.
Well, do one more,
Yeah.
right? Because this is 1, 2, go it one more time, up 2 over 3. But I would say, to be safe, take the 3 points you have and multiply them by that number.
Yes.
That's your safest bet. But what he said will work when it's a 2. Okay?
My idea.
Questions on that?